Right next to him, Jack Runkel. Down here, Eric Lusby. And on the far end, Scott Ratliff. Again, we'll start off with an opening statement from the head coach. Again, let's use, please, if you have a question for the student athletes afterwards, use the microphones. This is being transcribed remotely. And we'll go from there. So, Coach.
What a great day for the Greyhounds. Proud of these guys. Proud of our institution and proud for our alumni. You know, it's a special feeling as a coach when you get to coach a group of guys that just give you everything, every day. You know, we're having fun out there. I want to thank, I certainly want to thank the NCAA because this environment is second to none. This is a great weekend for every student athlete that's involved in it. And you know, obviously, win or lose, there are memories that'll be you know, cherished forever from all these student athletes. I want to give a lot of credit to Notre Dame. Obviously, they came out with a tremendous game plan today. They didn't want to let us run. You know, they took us out of what we like to do, and you know, they made it a battle out there for sure. But you know, we're just so fortunate to advance. We're excited about the opportunity. We'll go back to work tonight, and we're looking forward to seeing what the outcome of this next game is.
Questions for the student athletes, and if you could please say your name and affiliation and who you're questioning, that would be great. Thank you.
Patrick Stevens from the Washington Times. This is for Jack, and if Charlie wants to kind of double up and kind of follow up on it a little bit. I think during the week Charlie said something along the lines of wanted you to be big, basically, play big this week. What were you seeing out there that kind of led to this sort of game, and just kind of at what point did you realize this was going to be a pretty good day for you?
I think the first save I made was from out top, and it kind of got me into a rhythm, and my defense is giving me some good shots to see very clear lines from the shooter. So any goalie, I think, would gobble up those saves, and credit to my defense because they really helped me out and let me see the shots that I wanted to see.
I watched this big guy stand in there when Foley split us back to the middle, and when he went down and caught the ball at his ankles from about 8 yards out, I knew we were going to have a goalie that was ready to play today. He was big. He's as big as he's ever been in there for us. You know, when there was a breakdown, Runkel was right there to pick up the pieces. But more than that, I think the behind-the-scenes stuff is how much he organizes us, you know, as a leader down there, and definitely played his best game as a Greyhound.
Doug Alden from AP. Eric, can you talk about your game with 5 goals, and did you know, having had yet after those last 2, that was going to be it for you guys?
I mean, going in, we knew Notre Dame had a great defense, so we give them credit for their game plan and everything. But I just was lucky today. I mean, I found myself on the receiving end of hard dodges from our middies, and then Justin Ward and everybody. I mean, Notre Dame, they play such a help defense that they like to suck down the inside. So that opened up some skip passes, and if you get to the backside quick enough, you can have some dodges from in close. So, I mean, so I guess I was receiving a lot more than usual today, but no, I did not know those last 2 goals were going to be the last we had today. I mean, I thought we were going to get a couple more in the 4th quarter and end of the 3rd, but I mean, we came out on top, so we didn't need any more.
Lee Feinstock from NCAA.com. Scott, what was it like to not have Eric last year, and what's it like to have him back?
I mean, it's just a completely different thing when you can have 2 guys who can shoot as well as Eric and Mike can on opposite sides of the attack. It completely changes the dynamic of our offense, and I mean, we wouldn't be where we are today without Eric. So it's just head and shoulders better with him on the field.
Charlie, can you talk about the same thing, please?
Absolutely. You know, I think not only did we miss Eric's shot, but we missed his leadership. It's tough to lead when we're on the sideline, and you know, Eric endured every practice with the team. Although he was in the training room, you know, rehabbing, he was in that locker room, and I think, you know, as a student athlete, he'd be the first one to tell you, you know, that it's tough when you can't help your teammates. And there were opportunities last year where we probably needed Eric out there, but again, I don't think Eric would change a minute of his decision to, you know, to go back in and rehab and be shut down for the successes that we're having this year.
Gary Lambrecht, Lacrosse Magazine. Eric, can you just talk about, outside of how you're being set up for these scores, what kind of a zone are you in right now in terms of see a spot, hit the spot? I mean, it just looks really easy from where we're sitting, how you're finishing the ball.
I'm just I'm playing confident right now. Past 2 games, I've had a pretty good shooting percentage. I see net and I shoot for net. I don't really try to pick the corners. When you try to like aim an exact spot, then that's when you start messing with your head. So I just try to shoot for net, and when I see an opening, I've been putting the ball where I want to. So it's paid off.
Since Julian Bimbo from the Boston Globe, just gonna ask one more question, Eric. How gratifying is it to come from where you went to and being injured in the tournament game and now being in the championship game, kind of seeing all the process work out?
I mean, it's been an unbelievable ride. Definitely couldn't see it playing out this way, but I mean, I just give credit to all the guys. I mean, all the pieces came together this year. Everyone's kind of matured from a year last year, so I just give the credit to the whole team. And then just for myself personally, just coming back from the knee injury, it's been great. Couldn't have asked for more.
Was there ever a point where you were unsure or kind of angry about it, or kind of where the emotions were kind of mixed, or were you always kind of level-headed?
I'm pretty level-headed to begin with, so I don't try to get too high or too low, so it's just kind of just stay the path.
Scott, I think Notre Dame had been shooting really well in the tournament. What did you guys do, and how did you guys prepare to kind of get them to shoot as poorly as they did today?
Well, what's so hard to defend about them is they've got really their first 2 midfields and their entire, or 4 attackmen deep that can beat you at any given moment. So, you know, we talked about, you know, not just trying to shut down one guy or stop one set. You know, they go to 3 or 4 different sets that we were prepared for, and then just supporting each other. You know, it's hot out there, and we have such good D middies with Josh Hawkins and Pat Coney, but when we ask so much of them, you know, we got to make sure we're ready to slide, and when we do, you know, almost play kind of like their defense does. Everybody just support each other, have your second, have your third slide, and I think that's what we did today. We gave Jackson looks from the outside. I mean, he was just saving everything, so that was a big part of it.
Scott, can you talk a little Zach on one side, Lacrosse. Scott, can you talk a little bit about just the trouble you guys are having with face-off backs today? What was Notre Dame being able to do, whether it was really clean or just get to the loose ball faster?
Yeah, they were. Their face-off guy was doing a good job. He was winning a lot of clamps, but JP was tying him up for the most part and really making it how we typically like them, 50-50 ground balls. We usually win those battles, but their wings were hustling and making a lot of big plays off the ground, and their face-off guy was making a lot of big plays off the ground. So really got to give the credit to their whole face-off unit there. It was a team effort for them winning that battle, so that's something we definitely need to focus on going into Monday.
Scott, just stay with you. I'm Bruce Laird from the Boston Herald. First for you, I just wanted to ask just about what it is that you guys were doing. You managed to put up hold Notre Dame scoreless twice for more than 20 minutes during this game. Can you just talk about what you were seeing on the field during those long stretches where you guys, obviously, Jack making some saves behind you as well?
Yeah, they're a really patient offense, so they don't force anything. So it's really about matching that patience and not pressing out and giving them an opportunity by making a stupid play. Just staying focused, staying ready when they're working the ball around. They dodge hard down the alleys a lot, but then they won't shoot. They'll just rotate it behind and then they'll dodge hard again. So all the way around, all 6 guys on the field were just we're staying focused. Not getting impatient, trying to put the ball on the ground, trying to turn it over, and more just kind of letting them come to us and making them shoot the shots we wanted to see. And then what's always huge is getting the ball off the ground. The first time they put it down, get it up and get it out. That's what we were able to do.
And Coach, for you, just wanted to have you talk a little bit about Josh Hawkins and his play today. He seemed like he was all over the field today, both ends of the field. You can just talk about his game.
Absolutely. You see that every day in practice. Josh Hawkins is a ball hawk. When the ball is around Josh, he's going to try and make a play. He's just so doggone athletic between the lines. And, that was a big goal for us. We had given up 2. We talk about not giving teams runs. It's something that we try to do is stay in a run. When we score goals, we want to score multiple goals. I think Notre Dame had scored 2 goals in a row. And, you know, Josh had that opportunity to pick up a tough ground ball. And knowing Josh, he probably looked up at the board to see himself run down the field, and so he saw the clock. But he made an athletic play that, like I said, we see every day in practice. You know, and again, stop the run. But that's who he is. That's who we see every day in practice. And so I think that was a big goal for Loyola University.
Charlie, did you think about calling timeout there, or you just knew that you were going to let Josh figure it out?
Yeah, not with that kind of time. Not with this team that likes to run. I wasn't going to take them out of an opportunity to run. And you know, certainly that's when we're at our best, we feel like.
Charlie, you mentioned earlier just the fact that they kind of took you guys, you slowed the pace down a little bit and whatnot. How impressed and how happy are you that you guys were able to win a game that way? I know you won a couple earlier in the season, but to win this sort of game that way as opposed to how you've typically won them this season.
Well, it just shows the character of this locker room right now. You know, that they'll recognize the situation and play to it. And where Scott, I think he hit the nail right on the head. You know, we had to stay disciplined defensively. We talked an awful lot about our approaches this week to the ball. We talked about being organized behind it because we felt like, you know, it was going to be one of those types of games. And so, you know, whether or not it was on the offensive end or the defensive end, I really felt like we just did a good job of digging in. You know, it wasn't going to be, Notre Dame wasn't going to allow it to be a game where we were able to run and have 40 shots. They wanted to make it this type of game. And, you know, again, to the credit to the guys, you know, they were able to win a game that probably Notre Dame's game plan type win.
So Charlie, with their midfielders going in with their short pole matchups, was it something you saw that you could take advantage of before going in the game, or something that once the game started moving, you said, I think we got what we want, let's go just a little bit more?
You're talking about defensively?
With their short poles, your midfielders against their shorties.
Well, we're willing to let all of our middies dodge. You know, we're not a team that's going to bury the pole on the you know, crease and ask the guys to dodge short sticks alone. We'll dodge the pole, we'll dodge the short sticks. What we try to do is to get our guys to space so that they have an opportunity to dodge. And, you know, we're very comfortable with Chris Lane. We're very comfortable, you know, with Sean O'Sullivan or Davis Butts, you know, dodging out there. And, you know, again, it was a game where Notre Dame probably played a few more guys than Loyola did, but our guys just kept coming. And, you know, and so we're going to always ask our, you know, middies to initiate and not so much, you know, one guy in that midfield.
Charlie, coming into the season, just generally, I mean, did you feel like you had a group that was capable of making it to the final game of the year, or has this run, you know, surprised you as well?
That may have caught me off guard just a little bit. You know, we felt like we were a 12 to 15 as a coaching staff team. We watched ourselves play in the fall, and these guys have embraced a philosophy of playing faster. We're very fortunate to have a couple new faces in our locker room, so we knew we were a little more athletic between the lines. But what you can't account for in the fall is the team chemistry that develops throughout the season. And these guys have the right chemistry. They have the right work ethic, preparation. And so as the season went on, we weren't surprised because we just kept going week to week with that same work ethic, with that same philosophy that, you know, we're going to take care of each other. And so obviously, you know, we're very happy to be here, but, you know, we're not done.
A few more here, and if we can direct some to the student athletes, that'd be great.
Coach Toomey, can you talk a little about, this is the second game in a row where you guys have had a little trouble at the end of the game trying to beat the double and kill the clock. I guess, what particular challenges that present, or how do you try and solve that for, you know, if you're in the same position on Monday?
I hope to be in the same position on Monday. You know, we're going to go back and watch the tape. I think the toughest thing to do in lacrosse is to hold the ball with 2 minutes to go. You know, we changed it up a little bit. We put some short sticks out there so that if the ball did hit the ground, you know, we could get back and defend. It's just so hard to keep it in the box in 6 versus 7 guys while they're chasing you around. And, you know, our philosophy is, you know, if that net is open, we're not afraid to shoot it. You know, but that it wasn't going to be today. It certainly was not going to be. They weren't going to let us get above the goal. So, you know, we'll we'll go back to work on it and, you know, and hopefully have a game plan that's going to allow us to kill a game down there if that's what it takes on Monday.
Eric, I guess this is the first time that John Gillette inside the cross, sorry, that Loyola's had 2 50-goal scorers in a season. We haven't talked about Mike Sawyer in the last 2 games, I guess, press conference-wise. I mean, what is your relationship like with him and offensively? You mentioned how good of shooters you guys both are, but what works for you guys offensively having such good shooters that can, such good goal scorers?
Well, Mike and I are great friends on and off the field, so we get along. Offensively, we just kind of draw up a lot of plays. There's motions that kind of are geared toward getting Mike and I our hands free. So offensively, we have a lot of set plays, but we also have a lot of just sets, and then the sets we kind of feed off one another. So usually they're taking away one side of the field or the other, and then that just gives the other guy the opportunity to get his hands free. And when you can stretch the field, it just opens up everything for all the other guys on the offense.
Any more? Great. Thank you, everyone.